how this all started was I went into nature. I started hearing a voice that said, pick up your phone and start recording and start typing everything that we give you. And this was really unusual because I'm in the South Island, I'm in the motorhome with my partner, and I just started typing into an Apple Notes. And I would hear sentences about nature, I would hear deep and meaningful information. And I suppose what I had to believe initially was this wasn't my voice, that I was hearing something that was meant to be recorded. And so I turned up, and every time I heard it, I recorded it. Now, I think my partner actually thought that maybe I was having an affair because it looked like I was texting the whole time on our trip for 5 weeks. But actually, what I was getting was all of these different sentences, all of these different characteristics. And so I kept turning up. I came back to Auckland, probably had a few weeks gap, and asked a lot of people, well, what am I hearing, what is this? And I got a lot of different opinions. I got a lot of, it's your own soul talking. And they're like, how do you hear it? What does it mean? And I'm like, it's not my voice. Like, I just know. And I'm recording at a pace with my thumbs because I'm texting into my phone like a teenager. And it's just coming out. Like, I'm almost like in a trance. Just I receive, and it's on the page. I don't know how it happens. I don't know what voice I hear. It's not my voice. So started back a practice where every day I would set an intention, and on that intention I would ask my spirit team to help me, and I've collected a lot more in the spirit team since I started, and just really started the practice and the believing that this was something. I didn't say anything to my family or my friends. And then about in October, my mum was at her end of life, and I was with her, and I knew I'd received a verse that really explained life and death and what it all means. And I'm like, I think this is for her. I think this is something she needs to hear. So I sat her down in her front room. Like, she knew I was doing spiritual healing. I'd given her a lot of, sorry, that just the thought of her makes me cry. Isn't that bad? It's not bad. It's still the grief coming out. And so I sat her down and I said, Mum, I've been receiving these verses. I call them inspired verses. And I think this one's for you. So anyway, I told her the verse, and she just looked at me at the end and she said, you're writing a book. And I went, yeah, I know I'm writing a book. She goes, no, this is a book. You're writing a book. So I suppose that was the first moment where I didn't have her going, well, what is that? How do you know it's you? Sorry, all the things that are coming out of my nose just describing her, and this bit emotional. So better get a tissue actually. Sorry. See, it's live and authentic. It's quite considerable. So I said, yep, it's a book. I didn't know what it was called. I kept putting down different, names that it could be. I kept asking my people that I was in the spiritualist church with. I would read them verses. I would send verses to people going, hey, I think this is for you at the moment. And they're like, oh yeah, that's really cool. But I suppose the real coming out was my mum's funeral, where I read one of the verses, True North, out. And I said to people I was writing a book, and that was the moment where I actually released it to the world, released it to people, my mum's and my nearest and dearest, her friends, her family, my own colleagues who I've known for a long time. And so, yeah, the end of that writing, I knew it was 365 days from the day that I started. I knew that when I began that this was a book, and it was a year's worth of a journey. My own journey, maybe. Man, they put me through a lot. God, they put me through a lot. To be ousted out of your career after 30 years of nice comfort, to lose that identity, to go through an end of life with your mum. To go through so much, and at the same time really establish, who am I? What is this world that we live in? What is the wisdom that's been given to me